Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Tayo Salam. This is what the show looks like. Of course, Lionel Messi's new footballing chapter is official with PSG after 21 years at Barcelona. Also on the program is still talking about new beginnings. NBA great Russell Westbrook has officially been unveiled as a Los Angeles Lakers player. Still in sport this morning, on a rather unfortunate note, world number 4 Rafael Nadal has pulled out of the Toronto Masters because of a persistent left foot injury. So this is what the show looks like today. Of course, still so many more issues, sporting issues that we're going to be discussing later on and in the course of the program. Not alone on this flight, I'm being joined once again by Ademola Ogunbono. Ademola, it's great to have you on the show again.
Thanks for having me, Tayo, and good to be back talking sport. Of course, over the past 24 hours, all the spotlight has been on that man.
Yeah, just one man.
Yeah, just one man.
Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi.
Wow.
I mean, what a player. And yes, loss for the Spanish football. Loss for Barcelona. Great gain for Paris Saint-Germain and the people of France. I mean, they've kept vigil over the past 48 hours waiting for that one man. And it's more or less like all the cameras in the world were waiting for that man in France. And a good one for PSG. I'm sure their fans are excited.
Of course, they have to be definitely excited. We'll talk more about Lionel Messi and the impact or the likely impact of that incredible move to Paris Saint-Germain later on the show. But before then, let's give you updates coming from the Toronto Masters. It's unfortunate, a bit of sad news concerning 20-time Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal is now pulled out of this competition because of a persistent foot injury which has bothered him for months. Feliciano Lopez, who lost in qualifying, will replace him in the draw. Rafael Nadal, recall, made his return to tennis last week. That was at the City Open, where he defeated Jack Sock in his first round match, but lost in the second to Lloyd Harris. He was visibly troubled by that left injury in that competition, and afterwards he said he was still suffering the injury, he was still battling and still nursing, but he was just going to give his best in Toronto, where he's actually won 5 times. But the news this morning is he can't afford to play.
There's no point if you can put in your best foot forward, as it were. And sadly, I mean, the left foot injury won't go away. And to play through injury, he loves to play in Toronto. He's won there so many times. It's sad that he won't be able to participate this time around. It's better for him to go back, take stock, get revigorated, treat himself properly. And then when the US Open starts in a few, in
a few weeks,
he has, all the energy to go in there and perform as, expected of Rafael Nadal.
Yeah, interesting that you mentioned the US Open, because the US Open, now that Nadal is pulled out of the Toronto Masters, kind of affects was supposed to be like a like a warm-up preparation now for the US Open. But with not being able to play this competition now, you wonder what kind of shape Rafael Nadal will be in.
Regardless, man, Rafael Nadal is always very aggressive, any day, anytime. So I think, it's luckily for him, it's just a foot injury. I don't think it affects any other aspect of his game. He's going to be back better and stronger as well. And I expect that he's going to give whoever it is he'll be playing with, especially that man who has been his nemesis now, Novak Djokovic. I mean, he lost to Novak at the French Open.
Semis.
In the semis.
What a game that was.
What a game it was. What a game it was. So I'm sure he will want to be back, for the US Open Masters, and you can take nothing away from that man.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm going to be very cautious and say I am not holding my breath to see the best of Rafael Nadal in New York because of all of these reasons. The injury is nothing new. It's been there for a while now. It's been nagging, off and on. It has been. And tennis is a very strenuous sport, a very physical sport where you make use of your feet,
move around a lot. So if you're not able to move around,
so how do you
properly,
get to the balls?
It's really going to be difficult for him. And at 32 or 33 now,
Nadal is 35 now. He's getting on. Come on.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the way he plays, you still think he's still,
Of course.
I mean, we expect that the younger guys will come in, but I think he still has a couple of years left in him to give good performances. So
I agree.
I think he'll be back, and the style of play, Tayo, very aggressive. So I expect that, yes, he's going to go on and do better things as well.
Okay, fingers crossed. Wishing Rafael Nadal a full and soonest recovery from that nagging and persistent left foot injury. Let's move on with the show now. Let's go on to basketball, the NBA, where Russell Westbrook, former MVP, sure ballot Hall of Fame player when he's retired, is now being unveiled as a Los Angeles Lakers player. Of course, he now joins Anthony Davis and LeBron James at the Lakers at the Staples Center as they aim to win another championship after they were eliminated in the first round last postseason. Demola, are you excited for this trade?
I am. I think, it will always play at the back of Westbrook's mind, not having won a ring.
A ring yet.
No matter how great a player you are, you are always being, looked upon as,
you'll be judged on if you win a ring or not.
Yeah. So I think him going to Lakers is just one last race for him to see if he can get that ring.
Yeah.
He's been labeled as a ball clutching player, probably going to be ego clashing, but I think he's a matured man.
Yeah.
And so is LeBron and Davis. And interesting to note that they now have Carmelo Anthony and the Superman, Dwight Howard as well.
Howard.
Massive. So I think, yes, they will give it a good go.
Yeah.
It is not a guarantee that they will get that ring, but with the kind of players they have and the kind of caliber of, I think, yes, they might just,
Interesting. We'll see, of course, the NBA 2021-2022 season is still a couple of months away. But for Russell Westbrook, he was traded, just as a reminder, was traded by the Washington Wizards to the Lakers. So the Wizards are getting Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Montrezl Harrell, and a 2021 first-round pick. That was a trade involving the Lakers and the Washington Wizards. Let's take a listen now to the first words officially of Russell Westbrook as a Los Angeles Laker.
It was, anytime a situation like this comes about or an opportunity presents itself, it can be stressful, it can be a lot of emotions, but ultimately, the biggest thing for me is being in this league when you know teams that actually want you and actually want you to be a place. To me, that means more than anything else. And at that point, it's my job to make sure that I come and do what I'm supposed to do, and that's to come and compete and make sure that we have a chance to compete for a championship. As you know, Bron is one of the best players to play this game, and his ability to be able to kind of do everything on the floor allows me to be able to just figure it out. I'm coming to a championship caliber team, and my job is to make sure that I'm able to make his game easy for him. And I'll find ways to do that throughout the game. As it pertains to ball handling and all that, it really doesn't matter. There's many different ways you can impact the game without having the ball in your hands. And I've been able to do that for many years, and I will figure it out.
Russell Westbrook doesn't foresee any problems at all playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It said a lot about LeBron. LeBron, of course, is an all-time great in the game, a very intelligent basketballer. And the issues a lot of people have with this trade is how they're going to merge together. How is he going to play with LeBron James? He said earlier that Westbrook is a very ball-dominant player. He plays best when he has the ball in his hands. He likes to bring the ball up the court a lot of the times. LeBron James has been doing that a lot now as well. So, and there's a contrast in their style of play as well. So Russell is all action, fast. LeBron likes to slow things down, playing half court, and we wonder how they're going to do it this time around.
I like what he said in his press conference now,
okay.
That he's looking forward to meshing with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think why he has been accused over the years of ball clutching is the fact that he probably doesn't trust the kind of players he has around him.
Okay.
Now,
that's a fair point.
It's a different ball game where, LeBron James, he's an all-time great. He's been there, done that.
True.
And don't forget that they won the NBA championship as well.
Just a couple of
years ago. Yeah. So I think when greatness recognizes another greatness, I think for
there
sure
should be no problems.
There should be no problems.
Okay.
There should be no problems. I think they'll mesh really well. I think they'll give the fans a very, very good show. The Staples Center is always going to be jam-packed, as aware. These are superstar players. I think they'll do just fine. And don't forget that Westbrook has always been an Lakers fan.
Yeah, and a hometown as well as going back home.
Exactly.
He's a Cali boy.
He has always been friends with the late Kobe Bryant, former Lakers great, and he said he still carries that memory, around that friendship around. So I think he's looking forward to going there, and I'll be so happy for him if he can get that final ring.
Yeah, I mean, what a career he's had. Incredible, triple-double king.
He is.
Records that we thought would never be broken.
And he did
that. Smashed it. Oscar Robertson's triple-double record, all broken by this man, Russell Westbrook. Let's move over now to the coach, Frank Vogel, who expects the Lakers to be an extremely dynamic and fast-breaking team with the addition of Russ.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think anytime you have three great players like this, there is an element of sacrifice required, and we've all talked about that and are all in on that. But these three guys can do it all, and what I love about our group, Bron, AD, and Russ, is they're all make the right play players. You know what I mean? It's not just about scoring or being a one-dimensional player. They can all do it all. So I'm most excited about seeing what the three of them on the court at the same time looks like. I think we're going to be an extremely dynamic, fast-breaking team, and one that can play. They can play off of all three guys in many different ways. So I think with the speed, athleticism of those guys, plus the guys the complementary parts we put together, the shooters and the defenders. I think we got a real chance this year to do something special.
That something special surely has to be the LA Lakers winning an 18th NBA championship. But, I mean, you've said a lot about the roster that the LA Lakers are currently building with the addition of Melo and Dwight Howard and the likes. But then they've got stiff competition as well. So the Milwaukee Bucks will be trying their hardest to go on and defend their title. Let's not forget what's going on in Brooklyn. Brooklyn, when healthy, KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, when those three guys are playing, they'll be hard to stop. As a matter of fact, predictions for the new season is pitting the Lakers against the Brooklyn Nets. So it's not going to be a gimme because the Lakers now have Russell on their roster that they will win an 18th NBA championship.
Going by the stats,
yeah,
they have, honestly, as we've mentioned now, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Westbrook's just joining, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, only Davis is under 30.
True.
Amongst these guys. And between them all, they have 52 NBA All-Star nominations.
Okay, nominations, right?
Amongst them. So that's massive. I think the experience they have, I'm hoping that they'll have time to gel and play, a couple of friendlies and, but these are professionals, these are experienced, ballers. Like you mentioned, the Brooklyn Nets, KD, massive player. Harden as well, in there, and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always going to be tough. It's hard to call who is going to win, the NBA, championship. But I think the style of play of LeBron and Westbrook and Anthony Davis might just have an edge over these other guys. It's going to be tough. I cannot call it, but I think it promises to be very interesting in the NBA new season.
I agree. Definitely should be a lot more interesting than what the Lakers offered in the just concluded season, where they were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes, by the
you mentioned all of that experience now, which is great in basketball. If you want to win a championship, experience counts a lot. But there are a lot of people that feel those guys are really old, and come the playoffs, their legs will be sore and they will be able to carry themselves up and down the court. LeBron James particularly has been very critical of this narrative. He's come out to say, you guys are saying we're old, just wait for it. Wait for what we do next season. And
the coach, Frank Vogel, I want to see how he's going to, manage the players, those coming off the bench as well. And it's always going to be tough because, to be fair, age is no longer, you know, on this, and you
They're
have
quite
younger,
getting up.
hungrier guys.
Do you get?
You see the way
Giannis.
Giannis is playing.
Yeah.
I mean, ferocious, massive. The energy, you know, that they go in, you know, playing at. That was what LeBron used to do, you know, some 10 years ago or thereabout. You know, the energy is just different, you know. But I still think that experience will count.
True.
These are really, really good players. And like I said, they would just want to win one more, especially for Westbrook. I mean, that's why he left and came, you know, came to LA Lakers, just so he can, you know, merge with this fantastic ballers who have been there, done that, and won. And I think it's going to be tough, but I think they can actually do it.
Of course, why not? Of course, you're talking about the favorites for the NBA. You can't rule out the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, so that's it for the NBA for now. We're still talking basketball, but this time from a Nigerian angle. The Tigers angle. The Tigers, of course, went to the Olympics. Didn't do as expected of a lot of people, but Chimezie Metu is back from the Olympics and doing great things already. This time in the NBA Summer League, Metu was one of Nigeria's standout players in Tokyo, and he's been sharing an experience, the Olympics, as well as what he needs to do to get better going forward.
It was great. It was a great experience. And obviously, anytime you get a chance to go out and compete at a high level like that against really good players from around the world, you know, it does something for you. And I feel like I've been really fortunate just to kind of have you know, moments like that where I'm able to go out and compete and see how I stack up against, you know, some of the best players in the world. So, and then to bring that back here. And then continue to try to develop and grow as a player is great. So yeah, like I said, it was a great experience, and I'm just happy that I got to be a part of it. I feel good. You know, obviously it's a quick turnaround, but I feel fine. Took me like a day maybe to get my legs back under me, but you know, as soon as I landed, I was right back to it, working out and stuff back in Sacramento. So you know, it's not that big of a deal for me. Like, I love playing basketball, so whenever I get an opportunity, especially an opportunity like this, to come out in the summer league and play with some of the guys, you know, it's great. It's great for me and great for my development.
That's what the Summer League is all about for young stars like Chimezie Metu to get better, improve their skill set, and try to get more playing time in the coming season. Chimezie Metu, very, very good player, great upside, still very young, has a lot to learn playing that power forward center position. But I think Nigeria's got a very good player on their hands if he continues to develop at this rate.
Like you mentioned, he's just 24 years old. Very fantastic player. For Sacramento Kings, more or less like a you know, squad player there. But over time, you know that he's always going to come good, and he has been fantastic for Nigeria. And you know, we have so many players of Nigerian descent in the NBA, so that can only spell good times for Nigeria. Yes, the past Olympic, pre-Olympic, we did well, you know, so it was expected that this guy's going to go on and do something great in the NBA, but we knew that it was always going to be tough when you have teams like the USA, US, Australia, France, you know, it's always going to be tougher. So we just hope that going forward, you know, all the players we have in there, they can come good and do something great for Nigerian basketball.
Indeed, and I just hope, because Chimezie was one of the most vocal guys on the roster, talked about a lot of things that didn't go well for Nigeria in Tokyo. Of course, there's off-the-court issues that he didn't really like. I'm just hoping that these guys have, you know, from their experience in Tokyo, don't decide to, you know, honor future invitations. Because if that's the case, Nigeria's going to be in big trouble, because there is no league at the moment. The league hasn't run for a couple of years now.
I like the fact that despite all that is going on, you know, within, you know, basketball settings in Nigeria, this guy still, I think they're proud to still wear the colors of Nigeria.
Yeah, that's fine. But then when you feel you're not being treated properly, you start to have second thoughts about whatever decision you've made.
I saw a meme of I think it was, I don't know which track and field event it was, and the 4 guys there were of Nigerian descent. Of course, only one was, representing Nigeria, and the 3 other guys representing, other countries. We have players like Bam Adebayo, who, I mean, you can
decided to play for the USA.
and you can't begrudge. The man is an Olympic medalist in gold for the US. I mean, players like this. But then we know that the US has a very, very tough pool of players, talented players, all around, and you can just expect that these guys, if they can get into the US team, they'll probably go for it. But I don't think they see Nigeria as a second option. Most of them are really, some of them are really dedicated players, and they really want to play for their, motherland, as it were. But then for Metu, of course, they will come out when something is not going right, and they will, bear their minds out. That's how they've been raised over there to always,
Let's just leave it like that. That's how they've been raised. They don't hold their tongues. If they see things not going correctly, they will say it. And it will be left to the authorities to deal with the situation. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, it's going to be all about the Lionel Messi show. Of course, not literally, though. Join us again. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We're going to talk about Lionel Messi shortly, but before then, let's give you updates from the NFF Congress, which was held in Benin City. Of course, that was just after the ITO Cup final. A lot of issues were discussed, but none more salient, not more important than the World Cup qualifiers. That's for Qatar 2022. Of course, the Super Eagles will be in contention in Group C against Cape Verde and Central African Republic, as well as Liberia. As a matter of fact, Nigeria's first game is against Liberia next month. Serious business now. And Demola, the way football is these days, man, you've got to earn your wins. You don't just show up and win. You've got to earn it. We saw it during the last time around when we played against all of these teams, and where they shocked us, So I can't afford to underrate any of these teams in Group C.
We cannot. I like the fact that preparation has started in earnest, and they're putting things and structures in place. It's always going to be. There are no minnows again, Liberia. Don't forget, I think it was against Sierra Leone where that should be an eye opener and a wake up call to us that yes, there are no minnows. You have to earn your place, and I hope that with the way things are now, with the Congress being held, and Qatar 2022 World Cup in view, I hope that we can put things in place as soon as possible, get all structures in place. I heard one Super Eagles player.
Leon Balogun, right?
I wasn't going to mention him.
Yeah, but come on. We all know who he is. And there's murmurings coming out of camp. Some players are not happy.
They are not.
For whatever reason.
They are not. I don't know why these things keep happening, even in the, what's it called now? Our female team as well.
The Falcons.
Falcons. Former captain was banished because, she gave her own, opinion on what she has to say. And I hope that won't be the case for Leon Balogun. I don't think it will matter much.
Fingers crossed. We'll see when the next squad list is released.
I just hope that we can get our act together and do what is necessary to make sure we have a good, performance going for the Qatar 2022 World Cup.
Yeah, because just imagine Nigeria qualifying for this tournament. It would be a disaster with this crop of players that we have and not qualifying. I don't think Nigerians will forgive too easily that mishap.
We didn't make the Olympics, which is quite sad.
Men and
Why
women.
we didn't qualify, I really don't understand, for a country like Nigeria, but I think for Qatar, I think we'll be there. I think we'll do just enough to be there. I think we have the wherewithal, we have the players, and the coach. I have my opinions about that, but then I think that we'll do just fine and qualify, and we'll do good in Qatar.
You mentioned the coach. To be fair to Gena Raw, ever since being in charge of the Super Eagles, qualification for major tournaments haven't really been a problem. Usually qualify with a couple of games or with a game to spare. Hopefully that is the case now, but it's not going to be easy, and a lot of things have to be put in place for Nigeria's smooth qualification process. Let's take a listen to officials of the NFF as well as former players speaking on what has to be done to ensure the Super Eagles book a spot at the Qatar 2022 World Cup?
It's about preparation, to prepare the team on time. We have a lot of players, young players, and everything. So we need to do the things we're supposed to do. This will mean that the technical crew and the Nigerian Football Federation are supposed to prepare everything needed for the tournament to make sure that it's okay. But I believe that we have a capable president who is going to do it.
First and foremost, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport is so passionate to see that the under-20, under-17, and as well the Super Eagles of Nigeria, most especially, qualify for the World Cup. According to his message, the World Cup is at the doorstep, that the NFF, under the watchfire of Amaju Pinnick, the NFF president, should be very, very meticulous to ensure that the Super Eagles qualify for the World Cup. We have 2 matches come next month against Liberia and as well Cape Verde, that we need to win those matches in order not to put ourselves in a tight corner, in order for us not to be permutating, so that we can as well get the point when necessary, so that the Super Eagles can as well qualify for Qatar 2020. And he as well urged the NFF to key into the dream of grassroots, that the power of grassroots football can never be undermined, that we should go back to the grassroots, get young talent, and as well nurture them to stardom, so that we can as well have players who can as well represent the country.
World Cup football is something that Nigeria, they cannot afford to lose. Everybody concentration is there. Yeah, it's to support them, to give them good support, because of the federation are doing very well. And I think now, if they put everything together, massive support to the teams, definitely we are going to do well.
We need to qualify for the World Cup by God's grace. It's going to be tough, but we are working and praying towards achieving that.
Yeah, it's all about working towards that ultimate goal of securing Nigeria's spots at the World Cup. Nigeria, of course, qualified for the last World Cup in Russia, and it was a great experience for a lot of these players. They were young at the time, and the talk after them was just 4 years after, these guys will be a lot more experienced, and they will go and do a better job than what they did in Russia. We're still just at the second round stage, though. Still a long, long way to go after these group matches are played against Liberia, CAR, as well as Cape Verde. There's going to be a third round where the 10 group winners will be paired up against each other, and that's where the real drama is set to begin, because you expect all the big teams to qualify from all of these groups.
Yes, we expect, but as it is now...
Should we just chill, relax, and let's do this first of all?
Yes, I think so, because there's a lot going on about how all these groupings, is being done now.
Yeah.
I don't know what CAF hope to, get by... just like the last female competition for the women, where Nigeria and Ghana were...
Yeah, but this time around, it's a lot more straightforward. Everyone is aware of how it's going to be done. After this second round is done, the 10 group winners will be drawn into 5 home and away ties. The winners of those ties will represent Africa at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. So it depends on who you get in the third round, and of course you've got to be the best to be the best.
Let's hope that's the case. So we just have to wait and see. Let the best in Africa go there and represent Africa and give it a good show.
All right. So, but before then, Nigeria's got to navigate Group C first of all.
Absolutely.
Before we start talking about the third round, let's move on with the show now. Still talking football, still on the home front, and talk about a historic feat that happened over the weekend on Sunday, to be precise, in Benin City. Bayelsa Queens and Bayelsa United emerging champions of the Nigerian Federation Cup, the ITL Cup. Remarkable. Look at this reception. Demola, heroes welcome for Bayelsa Queens and Bayelsa United. This has never been done before in Nigerian football, where you have 2 teams from the same states winning the same edition of the Fed Cup.
You have to give...
Look at that.
You have to give Bayelsa kudos. They must be doing something right. I think other states should go and learn from what is happening there. I remember you were trying to put me on the spot then, the match between Bayelsa and I said, yes, don't take my word for it, because Bayelsa, they have been giant killers. In the competition. They've defeated some good MPFL sides.
Loads of them.
Going into that game. Yes, I said Nasarawa might just want to avenge their missing out on
second place in the league.
On the last day of
the season. Yep.
That they might want to take that aggression to Bayelsa. But I think Bayelsa, they came really prepared. They've had fantastic results, over time. Yes, they won via penalty shootout. You might say luck was on their side, but yeah, I think they've just earned it, and massive.
This is amazing.
It is.
Wow.
It's just good to see their fans all joyous and happy.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, Bayelsa United, Bayelsa Queens, both winning. I mean, massive for the people of Bayelsa State.
Massive indeed. Now I see why, to be very fair to you, you were very hesitant in calling the Bayelsa United Nasser game, even though I tried hard to make you do it. And shout out to Fisayo Diary. Fisayo was almost spot on. He said it was going to go into penalties and whatever happens after. Unfortunately, it was Bayelsa United winning on the day after Silas Nwankwo, the top scorer for Nassau United, fluffed his lines. Let's take reactions coming from this reception for the triumphant teams.
So what I want to say is that he has sent me to tell you people, especially all Bayelsans, we want to thank you for your prayers. We want to thank you for the support. Since we came into the town from Igbogene, people have been lining up the road for us. Is it not so? That is a sign of a grateful state. And we are grateful that this state, the people, the citizens, and even those in diaspora are supporting us. We want to thank you very much for that support. We also want to thank especially the players. When we got to Edo on Saturday, I told them, I went to play with them on Wednesday. And I told them that there are 3 characters in the Bayelsa coat of arms. One of them is the leopard. The leopard dominates the night, and nobody can dare him in the night. I told them, we are the Mafa. And I told them again that we have a crocodile there, and nobody intimidates the crocodile both on the land and on the river. So they must go amphibiously and conquer. After us, they've conquered the big ones. What is that again? And I told them, for these 2 teams, you don't know what these 2 teams have done. For the Bayelsa United, they killed Rangers United. They killed Rivers United. They killed Lobby Stars. All the teams in the Premiership, they took them out.
Of course, a very, very happy Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State. Happy that the Queens and United are the champions of the ITL Cup, the Federation Cup, Holders Cup competition in Nigeria. Congratulations to those sides again, especially Bayelsa United, the first NNL side in about 20 years to win this cup competition. The last side to do it was Dolphins, so it's no mean feat at all.
It is no mean feat.
Got to give them a lot of credit.
We have to. Kudos to them. Well done to Bayelsa United and Bayelsa Queens as well. So fantastic for the people of Bayelsa. Again, congratulations.
Congratulations, indeed. Let's move on with the show now. It's about to be the Lionel Messi show, literally. Yeah, Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time, is officially a PSG player after 21 years at Barcelona. No one would have ever thought of seeing this particular image 4 or 5 years, 6 years ago. No one would have ever thought that Lionel Messi will end up at the Parc des Princes. But it is what it is. It is official. Messi is going to be playing alongside Mbappe, Kylian, as well as Neymar Jr. Fantastic. The frenzy, my God, in Paris is something else. The fans turning out to catch a glimpse of Lionel Messi and look at all of that. And it's looking like a very exciting time in the French Ligue 1 for the next couple of years.
Tayo, it's going to be massive, French football. I think what Messi, will be bringing to the table in France and PSG in particular, I think it's going to be huge. I was reading something earlier that Messi, over 245 million followers on social media. PSG just over 34 million.
Yeah,
but within a space of 24 hours. PSG's social media has grown massively.
Look at that.
Regardless of how much Messi is going to get paid, or earn in a PSG shirt, you are rest assured that PSG, they're going to make that money
Very
back
cool.
in a couple of months. That's how massive a player Messi has been over the years, and what it brings again to the pitch. You know that yes, I wouldn't say the Ligue 1 is wrapped and dusted for PSG.
No.
But I think the bigger picture for them is the Champions League, which
Right.
they'll be gunning for. It's going to be tough, but with that man in there, you can almost guarantee that yes, they might not win it this year, but you know that in a couple of years, definitely they will. Get their hand on that trophy. It's just good to see the fans.
I mean, look at the fans.
So happy. They've kept a vigil over the past 48 hours. And they're so proud and so happy. And that front line, like you mentioned, Neymar has gotten his friend back. Quick
Finally.
to announce it on social media.
Back
even
together.
Before it was made official. And it's scary, that front line.
Scary indeed. The fans are once again ecstatic, cheering, giving Messi a hero's welcome, even though he hasn't even played a game for them. Messi's going to be wearing the jersey number 30. A lot of people were wondering what's going to happen. Is Neymar going to give up his jersey for Messi? But it was never going to be a drama. Messi's gone back to the jersey number 30, which he won on his debut for Barcelona. Obviously has some kind of attachments with that number. We're talking about the front three. As a matter of fact, the old team, the old PSG side, I don't think they come more star-studded than we have at the moment. So we're going to take a look now at the likely potential starting lineup for PSG with Messi. Of course, they can play in whatever way, in whatever formation. That's how deep they are, in that squad. But we've gone with this formation 4-2-3-1 with Donnarumma, the best goalkeeper in Europe, from the Euros, in goal. Hakimi, Ashraf, one of the best young right backs in the world. They've got in the middle Marquinhos, the captain, Sergio Ramos. What more can you say about Sergio Ramos? And you've got Kurzawa as well too. While in the middle, they could go with anyone, but we're going with Wijnaldum and Marco Verratti. Up front, it's Neymar, Messi, Di Maria, behind Kylian Mbappe. That was a scary lineup for any team.
For any team, Tayo, I mean, that man alone, Messi, he has always been, the X factor wherever he's played, and what it brings to the team. Sometimes single-handedly carrying, his team from a club side, Barcelona. He's regarded there as a god, and rightly so. And what he has achieved over the years, the numbers speak for themselves. What a player! And just to see, I don't envy Pochettino right now.
Pochettino is spoiled for choice.
He is. And yes, they're
because I mean, if you go, this is what we think the lineup might look like. But on the bench, you say Pablo Sarabia, Julian Draxler, Rafinha, Mauro Icardi. You can go on and on.
Tayo, they got the captains of two of the biggest club sides in the world, in Messi and Ramos. Yes, these two have been they haven't been best of friends, rivals over the years. Ramos, has been known to collect red card just because of rash challenges, against Messi. There have been feisty fights over the years in the
which is
Clasico.
Understandable.
And now, two of those guys, how PSG were able to pull this coup, I'll never understand. They got all those guys on the free. They got Ramos on the free, Messi on the free, Wijnaldum on the free.
Donnarumma as well.
It's just massive. And Hakimi, like you mentioned, young best right back, over the past, and he scores as well. There's still Neymar in there with his trickery and his magic. I think Neymar is going to get more serious now. He likes to play to the gallery every once in a while and, or hold up play and all that. But right now, with Messi in there, I think everybody's going to sit tight. Everybody will recognize the greatness of Messi and what Messi brings to the team. I think they're going to sit tight. And yes, I think that Champions League really is what they'll be gunning for. And it's a massive, massive, acquisition for Paris Saint-Germain.
Massive indeed. Mauricio Pochettino, don't want to be in your shoes. Actually, I want to be in your shoes. I want to manage all these great players and try to do something special for PSG. The holy grail still remains the UEFA Champions League. And if he doesn't get the job done, it might just be a gone now. All right, Lionel Messi has been speaking. The official, Messi will talk to the press officially later today. That's going to be around 10 a.m. Nigerian time. But before then, he's been talking to the PSG website, and he says, there you go, of course, he's very excited to begin a new chapter of his career at the Parc des Princes. That's with PSG. Everything about the club matches my football ambitions. So that's it. He's also going to talk about how talented the squad is and all of that. So it's looking good for PSG. We need to go on a break now. It's the last break for the show. When we come back, we'll be focusing on the UEFA Super Cup between Chelsea and Villarreal. Join us again. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. During the break, you saw highlights of the ITIL Cup final between Nasarawa United and Bayelsa United. Ended up being the NNL side prevailing on penalties. Let's get on with the show now and talk about what's going to happen tonight between Chelsea and Villarreal, the champions of the UEFA Champions League and the champions of the Europa League. They'll be taking on to see who's the champions of champions later tonight, Chelsea versus Villarreal. And let's take a look at Chelsea's performance in previous Super Cup appearances where they haven't been too great, it must be said. In 1998 against Real Madrid, that was played in Monaco, they lost. They won that game. But in 2012 against Atletico Madrid, played in Monaco as well too, they lost. In 2013 against Bayern in Prague, they lost. And in 2019 against Liverpool in Istanbul, they lost. We'll be losing again tonight. Let's take a listen to the pre-match thoughts of Thomas Tuchel.
It does not feel like pressure because this is what we demand of ourselves, me and first side. This is what I demand of myself to provide, to get better every day, to use my experiences and to be the best coach possible every single day, and to lead by example, to come into Cobham with good mood and full of energy and ready to continue the journey together. It's not over, it has just started, and hopefully it's going to be a long journey. They could start, but the question is, can they finish? And I think no. They have now like 8 days of training in their legs, and the European final after 8 days is pretty demanding, and let's be honest, it's too early to compete on 90 minutes on this kind of level. So we have to find a mix, and clearly the guys who came in early and have more minutes and deserve to start, and a majority of these guys will start.
Thomas Tuchel ahead of tonight's match against Villarreal in the UEFA Super Cup talked about, of course, a lot of attention will be on the starting lineup. Who's going to play, who's not going to play. A lot of the first team guys that went to the Euros returned late to training. So he's going to have to decide whether to go with the guys that have been, as part of preseason from the very start, or go with the tried and trusted players. But how do you see this one playing out tonight in Belfast?
I think it's going to be really interesting. Regardless of what Thomas is saying there, I think he still has loads of players, at his disposal. To be fair to him, most of Chelsea's first team, the players, this time around, they got into the latter stages of
pre-season of the competition at the Euros.
Yes, of the competition. So it took a longer time for them to return for pre-season training. But be that as it may, I still think Chelsea, yes, there will be a strong side. They have the core of their players still there. Thiago Silva, defensive stalwart. His German counterpart as well. I've forgotten his name now. Fantastic defender.
Rudiger.
Edward Mendy is still there as well. So it's really going to be interesting. And yes, for Villarreal, our own Samuel Chukwueze is back. I think he's going to give Chelsea's defense a run for their money.
Yeah, if he plays, surely.
That coach again, Unai Emery. I think he's won it before with Villarreal. If I'm right?
I mean, this guy wins the Europa League like it's nothing. As a matter of fact, they need to start thinking about renaming that competition.
After
but he's shown to be a very good coach.
an Aston
Didn't
manager.
have the best of times. Arsenal has gone, tried to rebuild his career, beat United in that incredible final a couple of months ago. And so Villarreal are not a side to just underrate. It seems they've got very quality players as well. So we just saw Carlos Barca, right
Gerard
there,
Moreno, Raul Albiol,
exactly. Justin Foyt, Albiol is a very experienced campaigner in defense. So it should be a very, very interesting matchup. And I want to put you on a sport and this one. Surely you're not going to dodge this.
Here we go, Tyre.
Come on.
Not again.
Come on, do this, man.
Well, I think from what I've seen from Thomas Tuchel, over the past, few games, with Chelsea and how he was able to win that Champions League final against Man City.
Coming in mid-season.
I think what it left PSG for, where it was let go for because he didn't win, and then came to Chelsea and then mid-season and he was still able to put out such a performance and win the Champions League. It is no mean feat for Thomas Tuchel. I think they'll be too strong, maybe just too strong for Villarreal. And with the kind of play Chelsea, N'Golo Kante as well, I'm sure it will be in the starting lineup today. I think, yes, they'll just, do enough to get that win. So here, Tayo, put me on the spot. I'm sticking my neck out for Chelsea, and I think they'll do just fine later tonight.
All right, Chelsea for the win. That's according to Demola right here. We'll see how it pans out later tonight. Let's take a look at the papers now. A lot of very interesting stories. Of course, it's dominated by Lionel Messi's new footballing chapter in Paris. PSG signed Messi. That's on the front page of Sporting Life. So there you go. PSG going to Messi, holding up that very, very famous blue jersey, and we'll see how his career unfolds in Paris in the next couple of years. Unfortunately, we just talked about Samuel Chukwueze earlier on, saying he's now been ruled out of the Super Cup final. Still rehabbing his back, but apparently not fit enough to play any part. We'll see tonight about that. Lukaku San Siro mirror defaced. Lukaku is leaving, so the fans are pissed, and they're messing with his mirror. Of course, he's on his way to Chelsea for club record £97.7 million sterling.
Wow.
Gang to sign Ugbo to rival Onuachu. Simi Nwankwo set to join Salernitana for £2.9 billion sterling. What else do we have here? Madrid eyeing a deal for Kylian Mbappe. Chelsea stars in Belfast are ready for the UEFA Super Cup. I want to talk about this Genk and Onuachu story. This guy had a record-breaking season last year. A lot of people thought that was going to be the end of his time in Belgium, but it looks like
I'm surprised it's still there. I'm surprised.
Strange.
I am. For a record-breaking season he has, in Belgium. I thought, bigger clubs are going to come for him, and there were insinuations that Arsenal were trying to make him come to, but all that didn't play out. Well, let him just continue doing what he knows how to do best in Belgium, and hopefully, bigger teams and bigger clubs will come, for his footballing talents.
Okay, fingers crossed. I will see. Let's go on to complete sports now. Atalanta inquire about Iwobi, Chelsea versus Villarreal. Chukwueze out of that UEFA Super Cup. That's because of his injury problems. Messi joins PSG on 2-year deal. Iheanacho targets opening day goal. That's in the English Premier League, which is going to start on Friday. Arsenal and Brentford will kick that off. Aguero could terminate Barca contract. Barcelona can't catch a break at the moment. Aguero is out for 10 weeks now. Complete Sports is saying he might actually go on to terminate the contract he just signed in the off-season.
I don't see that happening. I don't see. He has come out to say that he's here to play for PSG. I hope that he can put his injury woes behind him. He's a fantastic player. I think he will come good for Barcelona.
Okay.
And he'll score loads of goals as well.
We'll see about that. The problem with Aguero is injuries have not been kind to him in the last couple of seasons. Sporting Sun is the last paper for review. Of course, Messi sealing that £25 million 2-year deal with PSG. That's where we call it a day on the show. Demola, definitely thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Tayo.
Appreciate your time, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day and try to join us again tomorrow. I am Tayo Salam.